guys played Anaheim. Goaltending, defense, scoring all came together. Was there something psychologically that clicked when you guys came back off that road trip and to get you to where you are today?
Well, we obviously weren't playing to our capabilities, I don't think. But we had a chance to win every game, I think, on that road trip or throughout this season in terms of, the score and the opportunity. And, maybe we were a little tight at times and we were a little disconnected in parts of our game. But, we were still in October. So I think we knew there's a lot of hockey ahead of us, and it's just one day at a time. By no means were we thrilled with where we were at or the way our game was being played, but I think we just kind of stuck with it. Had some good discussions internally of just how we have to be better more consistently and keep working in certain areas and just take it one day at a time. And things have snowballed well. We've done a lot of good things since then. So, now it's to keep that going, and that's a challenge in itself. So, we've done some good things since then, and just like then, we're just looking to tomorrow and having a good effort and looking forward to the opportunity to try and get 2 more points.
You mentioned it being October. Do you feel that it was a case of the coach getting to know his team better, and maybe vice versa with the new guys getting to know Sheldon as well?
Hard to say. I think it was just maybe we were just still gelling a little bit and trying to get a little more familiar with maybe some tweaks we made to our structure, and things just didn't click right away in terms of whether it was the puck going in the net or just getting some results and just being on the right side of games. I think a couple leads that we just kind of let slip at times, and it's just sometimes a matter of one or two plays in a game, and it just changes the feeling, obviously changes the result. So, like I said, I think we just came home and just knew a lot of areas we'd be better in, and just continue to work at it, challenge each other, and know we still had a lot of runway, a lot of season as we still do now. That we just have to continue to take things day at a time and not get caught up, I think, in everything that goes on around us, but focus on what we got to do in here.
John, Coach said the other night after the Calgary game that for the first time in quite some time, you guys did some things that made the game a little bit more difficult on yourselves. Is that one of those games that you can kind of use as a bit of a wake-up call and still feel fortunate that you got the 2 points anyway?
Well, I still think there was a lot of good to our game, and it'd be nice to shut every team out every game. I think you're always looking to get better regardless of the situation, or putting a few wins in a row or things like that. But sometimes you're not always going to be your sharpest, or you're going to make a mistake here and there. Maybe special teams, you're not on the right side of it at times, and you got to work through those. You got to find ways to win, and you got to battle and stay composed with your game, and look to play better as the game goes throughout and give you a chance to win. And I think we did that. Now, more consistently, you want to play better and be a little tighter in some areas and be a little sharper. But I think we're also aware that when those times come, how we have to stay composed with our game and finding ways to get back to our identity and the way we need to play. And I think we did a good job of that after maybe the first half wasn't as it was probably a little looser than we wanted it to be.
John, Austin's impact, everybody understood what it was last year. Obviously, it was lots of goals and, of course, good defense all around game. Has that impact sort of varied a little bit this year? Can you put that into perspective?
In what way you mean?
Perhaps, and again, we always drive at the numbers of the goals. But
yeah.
Is it more? Is there something more on the ice that he's doing, even off the ice?
I think he just does a tremendous job of being himself and not letting the numbers really be what drives his focus or his demeanor or where he puts his mindset at or his work ethic. I think he's just trying to be a better hockey player every day and trying to be a catalyst for us and be a leader and obviously be one of the best players in the world. So, obviously last year scoring 60 goals, it's a remarkable year. There's a reason why there's only been, 2 other guys in the league that have done it, and it was the first time in 10 years or over 10 years. I mean, you guys probably know that. So it's an extremely hard thing to do. The pace he was on even in the shortened year, the year before, was remarkable. So, not every year goes the same, and it's different. And he's still making a tremendous impact offensively for us. But he continues to, I think, always adapt his game for what's necessary or what's required, and whether it's with the puck or without the puck. And every year I've been around him, he just continues to grow and get better and better. So, whether the goals meet the exact same as last year or the pace or whatever it is, I still think he's continuing to get better and impacts the game in so many ways. And then I think, myself or guys in the locker room see his growth as a leader and off the ice and how he continues to be a catalyst there. So I think he's playing great and continues to be one of the best in the world.
Is it just me, or is there more pre-face-off strategizing going on with you guys? Seems to be a lot of discussions before each draw.
Yeah, that's a good recognition there. I think, Manny takes care of a lot of that for us, but not just with the centermen. There's a lot of communication before games and what to expect, where we can be good, what our strengths are, and how we have to prepare each and every draw and how vital each of those plays are, and the fight for puck possession and how it can set us up for obviously the next play and the rest of our shift. So no doubt there's been some emphasis there.
Already been getting into full skate. Looks like he's kind of on the mend. Your assessment of him?
Yeah, he seems to be progressing well today. Getting to practice was obviously important for him, as it is for any player coming back. I haven't got reported exactly where he is at, but we're going to take our time with him. That type of injury that he had, and all of that, and we're pretty content with our defense as it is right now. So we're going to make sure that he's absolutely ready to go before he gets in.
Speaking of that blue line, Timmins has been in for a couple. Brody's been back for a couple. What have you seen from those guys of late?
Yeah, I think they've been good. Brody, I think is what to expect from him, and he's really helped Timmins there. But I think Timmins himself has just settled in nicely. For a guy that hasn't played much in the NHL this season, hasn't played much hockey really this season. He's getting better each day. Had a good practice day here today. He's put in lots of good work with our development team. So we've liked what we've seen from him for sure.
Obviously, you're not going to be perfect every game, but are games like Saturday at times good, where you said a few things that made it more difficult on the team than maybe it needed to be, to take the chance to reinforce the need for good habits?
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you would love to not have those games and just be sharp and all of that, but reality is it's at times going to creep back in. And like we've talked about, the hope is that when you have a game like that you snap out of it quickly and get right back to what's allowed us to succeed. The good news is you still find a way to get 2 points within that. Obviously early in the season was not the case. Now, I don't want to make a bigger deal than we need to, because we had some bad moments where we didn't manage the puck really well, but I still thought for the most part we defended quite well, and at even strength we gave up close to nothing, to be honest. From a scoring chance perspective, at 5-on-5 we were pretty dominant in that sense, but there's still areas of our game there we thought we gave up control of play and made life harder on ourselves than it needed to be, and we haven't been doing that here for quite some time, and was the message today, and certainly will be going to tomorrow.
Last time you played Anaheim, low point definitely, but you come back scoring, goaltending, defense all seems to come together. What psychologically kicked in for the team, would you say? What clicked?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the guys sense the urgency of the moment, both at that time and then also with the amount of injuries we've had in goal and on defense. That in itself has really gotten the team's attention, and we've talked about that as we're starting to get healthy here now. We don't want to lose what we've gained in terms of our mindset, because that's really, to me, is a big part of that, is just having the right mindset and recognizing what's given us the opportunity to succeed. There's been our strong defensive play. We haven't talked much about how we've managed the puck, but we've done a real nice job of that as a team, and not as nearly as good a job against Calgary. And then as a result, the game's a little more chaotic. All of a sudden, because of how we've played, everybody else looks better and plays better. All of a sudden, everybody looked not as good, and that includes our top people. So all the way through, there's opportunities there for us to grow from that, but certainly we're in a different place here now than we were when we left California.
We noticed a lot of pre-face-off strategizing has been going on, and John said that's Manny advising the guys to know where everybody is and just have the extra emphasis on picking up little things.
Manny takes the lead on our face-off, both on what's happens on the dot with the centerman and the other pieces that are happening offensively, defensively, win or lose, what our responsibilities are and what to expect from the opposition. and he does a tremendous job in preparing the team for that. I think we've seen a real improvement over last season and this season in that regard. With how we've done there, I think the addition of Spencer Carberry on the power play side, and then having another guy that can focus on that area has really helped us. And Manny was a tremendous face-off guy himself, and takes a lot of pride in it, and he's really helped the team.
You decided on a starter for tomorrow?
I have, yeah.
You let us know.
No, I don't think I need to. If you guys haven't figured it out, I don't need to tell you.
Has it surprised you that you've kind of had those core 4 forwards split up for as long as you've had this season, just given the rhythm that they've found? That like the plan from how you started to what was different?
I think that's fair to say. It probably has been a little bit longer. I think that's a credit to the players and how they've handled it and how we've played as a team. But at different times, I try to, within game, especially since we lost Yarncroc and our top 6 has had a different look. I've tried to, mix it up a little bit, and even within the games, you see Marner with Austin, and you see Willie with John. It happens within games, and I'm mixing it up a little bit. But it's a very healthy thing that no matter who I've played together and how it's worked out, the group has just kept on producing and has kept on giving us a chance to win games. So I'm really happy with how that's played out.
Why has Pontus been able to stick in the NHL as long as he has so far?
I mean, the big thing for me, first of all, is we don't have tremendous depth at center. We tried early in the season, with Kerfoot and Yarncroc spending some time there, and Engvall a little bit, and thought that we liked the look of them better on the wings. So that opened up an opportunity for him. And then since being here, he's just a very efficient and smart player. Does a lot of good things for us. I think he's got a lot of great potential. He checks a lot of boxes that you're looking for from a young player. He's not gonna light the world on fire offensively, but smart player defensively. Can hold on to the puck and protect it. He's strong on the puck, both offensively and defensively, and can make a play at the same time. He's made, whether it's scoring a couple of goals or some assists and moving the puck up the ice. He does a lot of good things there that just kind of keep moving the chains for us offensively.
Sheldon, how much has your familiarity with your depth piece on defense, Connor coming up, Mac as well, helped their transition to the team?
I missed the beginning of your question, I'm sorry.
How much your familiarity with...
Okay, familiarity. It helps a bit. I mean, I don't have a great deal of familiarity with Timmins. I had never specifically coached him before. Hollowell, of course, again, not a guy that I coached beyond just a few games at the OHL level. And rookie tournaments and all that kind of stuff. But, I think the more familiarity you have, it helps, gives you a greater starting point with a player and what they might need and how you can help them be at their best. But I think when it comes to some of the guys you're talking about and some of the familiarity, I think it's a little overplayed, to be honest.
Well, speaking about that, in the Sioux, obviously the Leaf have grown a very big fan base, probably in part to the Dubas family, but still to have such a big contingent of player on the team. Can you speak about the ties between the two organizations?
Well, I think, obviously Kyle's influence and involvement here is a big part of that. I think we've, Leaf Nation's pretty widespread across the country, if not the world, and we see that no matter where we go and what city we're in. But I think anytime you have those players with those connections, I think especially in junior hockey here in Ontario, you tend to follow those players, and you see it in some of the arenas, not just with the guys from the Sioux, but obviously Mitch in London, and you see some of the London Knights jerseys, and all the way through our group. I think you see that. I think that's natural. It kind of comes with it, but the way that it's worked out, we've had some real difference makers that have come in here, that happen to play in the Sioux.